The massive alien warship emerged from hyperspace like a leviathan breaking the surface of a cosmic ocean. Its crystalline hull shimmered with an otherworldly purple glow, dwarfing the small human research vessel that had stumbled upon the restricted sector. Captain Sarah Chen of the ESS Discovery felt her heart race as she watched the alien vessel's weapon ports slide open, knowing that her ship's true capabilities remained their only advantage. "They're charging weapons," Lieutenant Kumar reported from his station, his voice steady despite the tension. "Standard particle beam configuration, nothing our quantum shields can't handle." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The aliens still thought they were dealing with a primitive species, one that had barely mastered faster-than-light travel. They had no idea that humanity had spent the last century preparing for this exact moment. "All hands, prepare for contact," she announced over the ship-wide comm. "Maintain passive scan protocols. Let them think we're as primitive as they believe." The crew responded with practiced efficiency, their movements betraying none of the advanced training they'd received at Earth's secret military academies. The alien transmission cut through their communications with a burst of static. "Human vessel, you have entered restricted space. Your species is not authorized for quantum-level technology. Prepare for immediate termination." Dr. Marcus Wong, the ship's chief scientist, looked up from his console where he'd been analyzing the alien vessel. "Captain, their energy signatures. They're identical to the artifacts we found in the Kuiper Belt. They're using the same technology we reversed-engineered 30 years ago." Sarah nodded, unsurprised. Humanity had discovered the artifacts decades ago, ancient quantum technology that had revolutionized their understanding of physics. But unlike other species who had found similar relics, humans hadn't simply copied the technology. They had improved upon it, pushed it to theoretical limits that even the original creators hadn't imagined. The alien vessel fired its first shot, a brilliant beam of energy that would have vaporized any normal ship. Instead, it passed harmlessly through the Discovery's quantum-shifted hull, the vessel existing partially in another dimension at the moment of impact. "Should we show them what we can really do, Captain?" Kumar asked, his fingers hovering over the weapons console. Sarah straightened in her chair. "Signal Earth Command. Tell them Protocol Omega is in effect. Then target their primary power matrix." She paused, allowing herself another small smile. "Let's show them why humanity chose to hide in plain sight." The Discovery's hull began to shimmer as its quantum matrix activated fully, the technology they'd kept hidden for so long coming to life. The ship didn't just generate a shield. It rewrote the laws of physics around itself, creating a bubble of space where conventional rules of reality became merely optional. The alien vessel fired again, more desperately this time. Each shot passed through empty space as the Discovery shifted between quantum states faster than light itself could travel. To the alien sensors, the human ship would appear to be everywhere and nowhere at once. "Target locked," Kumar reported. "Quantum lance charged and ready. Fire." The Discovery's primary weapon didn't fire a beam or launch a missile. Instead, it created a corridor of altered spacetime between the two ships, a tunnel through reality itself. The effect on the alien vessel was catastrophic. Its crystalline hull, so impressive moments before, began to fragment as different sections of the ship experienced time at different rates. "Their power core is destabilizing," Wong reported, his eyes wide as he watched the sensor readings. "The quantum cascade is spreading through their systems faster than they can compensate." Sarah opened a channel to the alien ship. "This is Captain Chen of the Earth spaceship Discovery. We are not the primitives you thought we were. Stand down now, or we will be forced to demonstrate more of humanity's true capabilities." The alien vessel's response came in the form of emergency transport signatures as its crew began evacuating. Moments later, the mighty warship collapsed in on itself, crushed by the very forces it had sought to master but never truly understood. As Sarah prepared to send her full report to Earth Command, she reflected on the significance of this moment. Humanity had hidden its true nature for generations, playing the role of technological adolescents while secretly preparing for the day when the galaxy would force their hand. That day had finally arrived. "Send word to the fleet," she ordered. "Tell them it's time to rise from the shadows. The age of deception is over." Across the solar system, hidden shipyards began powering up. Quantum drives hummed to life as vessels that had never appeared on any official record prepared for war. Humanity had hoped this day would never come, but they had spent a century ensuring they would be ready when it did. The galaxy was about to learn that sometimes the most dangerous predator is the one that chooses to hide its teeth. Deep beneath the lunar surface, Admiral Helena Rodriguez stood in Earth's hidden command center, watching as holographic displays showed hundreds of quantum signatures appearing throughout the solar system. The Discovery's encounter had triggered humanity's contingency plans, and now their greatest secret was about to be revealed. "Status of the Ghost Fleet?" she asked, her voice echoing in the cavernous chamber. Colonel James Chen, her tactical officer, manipulated the holographic controls with practiced ease. "All vessels reporting ready, Admiral. Quantum drives are synchronized, and void space generators are operating at peak efficiency. The fleet can emerge at your command." The Ghost Fleet represented decades of human innovation and preparation. While the rest of the galaxy thought Earth possessed only a handful of primitive exploration vessels, they had built an armada unlike anything the universe had ever seen. Ships that could phase between dimensions, weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics, and defensive systems that made them virtually invulnerable to conventional attacks. "Multiple hyperspace signatures detected," announced Lieutenant Sarah Way from her sensor station. "The crystalline hierarchy is responding to our revelation exactly as predicted. 27 capital ships incoming, likely their entire regional fleet." Helena allowed herself a grim smile. The hierarchy, like many advanced alien civilizations, had long viewed humanity as barely worth monitoring. They had never questioned why humans seemed content with sublight speeds, never wondered why Earth showed so little interest in quantum technology. Their arrogance would be their undoing. "Signal the fleet," Helena ordered. "Execute Shadow Protocol." Across the solar system, massive vessels began to emerge from their quantum hiding places. The Ghost Fleet's ships made the Discovery look tiny in comparison, their black hulls seeming to drink in light rather than reflect it. They moved with impossible grace, their quantum drives allowing them to ignore the conventional laws of momentum and inertia. "Enemy fleet has entered the system," Way reported. "They're moving to surround Earth. Their weapons are hot." The hierarchy's transmission came through on all frequencies, their translator struggling to convey the mixture of outrage and fear in the alien commander's voice. "Humans, you have concealed quantum-level technology. This violation of galactic law will not be tolerated. Surrender now, and your species may be permitted to survive under our supervision." Helena opened a channel to the entire Ghost Fleet. "All ships, this is Admiral Rodriguez. For a century, we have hidden our true nature from the galaxy. We played the role of primitive survivors, while in secret we prepared for this day. The hierarchy thinks they know what humanity is capable of. Show them how wrong they are." The Ghost Fleet moved as one, their quantum drives activating in perfect synchronization. To the hierarchy's sensors, it must have looked like reality itself was fragmenting. Human ships existed in multiple states simultaneously, appearing to split into dozens of copies, each one equally real and equally deadly. "They're trying to target us," Chen reported, a note of satisfaction in his voice. "Their weapons can't lock onto our quantum signatures." The hierarchy's fleet opened fire, their energy weapons cutting brilliant paths through space. But they were fighting shadows, their attacks passing harmlessly through quantum-shifted vessels or striking empty space where human ships had been microseconds before. "All ships, weapons free," Helena commanded. "Show them what humanity has learned about quantum warfare." The Ghost Fleet's response was devastating. Instead of conventional energy weapons, they deployed quantum entanglement fields that caused sections of the hierarchy's ships to experience time at different rates. Vessels began to tear themselves apart as their bow and stern existed in different temporal states. Others found themselves trapped in bubbles of warped spacetime, their mighty engines unable to break free. The hierarchy's formation is breaking, Way announced. They're attempting to retreat. But retreat was impossible. The Ghost Fleet had already deployed their quantum nets, massive fields of entangled particles that made conventional FTL travel suicide. The hierarchy's ships were trapped, their superior numbers meaningless against technology they couldn't even comprehend. Open a channel to their flagship, Helena ordered. When the connection was established, she spoke with the calm authority of someone who had rehearsed this moment for years. This is Admiral Helena Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Force. Your assumptions about humanity were incorrect. We are not primitives playing with technology we don't understand. We are the ones who took your quantum science and perfected it. The hierarchy commander's response was barely coherent, their translator struggling to convey their shock. Impossible. How long? How long have you hidden this power? Long enough to ensure that when this day came, we would be ready, Helena replied. Stand down your vessels, or we will be forced to demonstrate even more of humanity's capabilities. As the hierarchy's fleet began powering down their weapons, Helena turned to her crew. Signal Earth Command. Tell them Phase 2 can begin. It's time to show the galaxy that humanity is done hiding. In the vast darkness of space, the Ghost Fleet's ships hung like black stars, their very existence a testament to human ingenuity and determination. The age of deception was over. The age of humanity had begun. Captain Michael Chung stood on the bridge of the EDF Prometheus, the most advanced vessel in humanity's Ghost Fleet. Through the quantum-enhanced viewing field, he watched as the hierarchy's reinforcements arrived. Not dozens of ships this time, but hundreds. They had called in their entire sector fleet, determined to crush humanity's rebellion against the established order. They still don't understand what they're dealing with, his XO, Commander Diana Foster, observed. She manipulated the tactical display, highlighting the enemy fleet's formation. They're arranging themselves for conventional combat. They think numbers will overwhelm us. Michael nodded, studying the massive alien armada. The hierarchy's ships were impressive by any standard, crystalline behemoths that channeled immense energies through their latticed hulls. But they were relics, copies of ancient technology that their makers had never truly understood. All stations, battle stations, he ordered, prepare to execute quantum strike protocol. The Prometheus's crew moved with practiced efficiency. Unlike the hierarchy's ships, which required thousands of crew members, human vessels operated with smaller elite teams. Quantum automation handled the routine tasks, leaving the crew free to focus on strategy and combat. Enemy flagship is broadcasting, Lieutenant Reza Patel announced from communications. They're demanding our immediate surrender. They're claiming we violated some ancient treaty by developing quantum technology beyond approved limits. Michael allowed himself a small laugh. They still think we reverse-engineered their technology. Send them our response. The equations we developed that prove their understanding of quantum mechanics is fundamentally flawed. The effect was immediate. The hierarchy's formation wavered as their scientists presumably reviewed the data. Human quantum theory didn't just improve upon their technology. It proved that everything they thought they knew about reality was incomplete. They're powering weapons, Foster reported. Multiple targeting locks detected. Execute quantum strike, Michael ordered. Show them what real quantum warfare looks like. The Prometheus and its sister ships activated their most advanced systems. The space around the human fleet began to ripple as they manipulated the quantum fabric of reality itself. They didn't just phase between dimensions like in earlier battles. They rewrote the local laws of physics. The hierarchy's first volley of energy weapons dissipated harmlessly, their beams literally ceasing to exist as they entered spaces where the speed of light had been temporarily reduced to zero. Their missiles found themselves trapped in temporal loops, exploding endlessly in microsecond time bubbles. Return fire, Michael commanded. Target their command and control nodes. The Ghost Fleet's response demonstrated the true gap between human and alien technology. Instead of trying to destroy the hierarchy's ships, they simply changed how reality worked around them. Quantum entanglement fields caused entire squadrons to experience time at different rates. Some ships found themselves hours behind their fleet mates, their crews watching battles that had already ended. Others were forced into dimensional states where their weapons couldn't function at all. Their formation is collapsing, Foster announced with professional satisfaction. They've lost coordination between their battle groups. The hierarchy's mighty armada was being dismantled not by superior firepower, but by humanity's deeper understanding of the universe itself. Ships that tried to retreat found themselves emerging from hyperspace before they'd entered it. Communication signals reached their destinations before they were sent, creating impossible feedback loops that crashed their command networks. "Sir," Patel called out, "we're receiving surrender signals from multiple vessels. Their crews are. They're requesting asylum. They're saying our technology violates everything they thought they knew about physics. They want to learn." Michael exchanged glances with Foster. This was unexpected, but not unwelcome. "Signal Earth Command. Tell them we may need to prepare for defectors. It seems some of our opponents are more interested in understanding than fighting." The battle, if it could even be called that, ended not with desperate last stands or heroic sacrifices, but with confusion and awe. The hierarchy's fleet hung motionless in space, their mighty weapons silent, their crews struggling to comprehend how completely they had been outmaneuvered. "Open a channel to all vessels," Michael ordered. When Paddle nodded, he addressed both friend and foe. "This is Captain Chung of the Earth Defense Force. What you've witnessed today isn't just advanced technology. It's humanity's understanding of the universe itself. We didn't just improve upon the quantum artifacts we found. We understood them in ways their original creators never did." He paused, letting the implications sink in. "Your surrender is accepted. But understand this, humanity will no longer hide its achievements. We will no longer pretend to be less than we are. The galaxy thought they knew what humans were capable of. Today proves how wrong they were." As the hierarchy's ships began powering down their systems, Michael turned to his crew. "Send word to Admiral Rodriguez. Tell her Phase 3 can begin. It's time to show the galaxy that humanity isn't just ready to join the galactic community. We're ready to lead it." In the vast darkness of space, the Ghost Fleet's black ships hung like silent guardians, their very existence proof that humanity had surpassed those who had once looked down upon them. The age of deception was over, but the age of discovery was just beginning. The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Concordat hummed with nervous energy as representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered for an emergency session. News of humanity's victory over the hierarchy's fleet had spread across the galaxy at FTL speeds, carried by quantum communications that many had thought impossible. Ambassador Lyra Tizon of the Stellar Republic watched the proceedings with growing unease. The massive holographic display at the chamber's center showed footage from the battle. Human ships phasing through reality itself, wielding physics like a weapon in ways that shouldn't have been possible. "This cannot be allowed to stand," thundered Representative Cole Durr of the Silicon Collective, his crystalline form vibrating with agitation. "The humans have hidden their true technological level from us for decades. They have violated every treaty, every agreement about the responsible development of quantum technology." Lyra rose from her seat, her iridescent scales catching the light. "Perhaps we should ask ourselves why they felt the need to hide," she suggested, her voice carrying across the chamber. "What does it say about our civilization that an emerging species chose to conceal their advancement rather than share it?" The chamber fell silent as a new figure entered, Dr. Elena Santos, Earth's first official representative to the Concordat. She moved with quiet confidence to the speaker's podium, seemingly unbothered by the mix of fear and hostility directed her way. "Distinguished representatives," Elena began, "for centuries, humanity watched as your civilizations enforced technological stagnation under the guise of safety. We watched as species with new ideas were subjugated or isolated. So yes, we hid our progress. We developed in secret, and now we offer you a choice. The holographic display shifted, showing not scenes of battle, but laboratories, research centers, and academies where humans worked alongside the growing number of alien defectors from the hierarchy. We can share our understanding of quantum mechanics, our breakthroughs in dimensional physics. We can help lift the artificial limitations your ancestors placed on scientific progress. Or, growled Coldor. Or you can attempt to force us back into the box you've created for emerging civilizations, Elena replied calmly. The hierarchy tried that. You've all seen the result. Ambassador Xinra II of the Ancient Accord rose, his age-old cybernetic systems humming. You speak of sharing knowledge, yet you began with an act of war. The hierarchy's fleet attempted to destroy a research vessel for the crime of existing in the wrong place. Elena interrupted. We defended ourselves with minimal loss of life. In fact, many of their crew have already requested asylum on Earth, eager to study what they call impossible physics. Lyra watched the chamber's reactions carefully. The older powers like the Silicon Collective and Ancient Accord were clearly threatened, but the younger species seemed intrigued. Humanity's achievement offered hope that the galaxy's rigid technological hierarchy could be challenged. What guarantee do we have, asked first speaker Naziel of the Quantum Conclave, that sharing this knowledge won't lead to catastrophe? The restrictions on quantum technology exist for a reason. Elena's response was to activate a personal quantum device, causing the air around her to shimmer. The chamber's security systems didn't even register its existence. With respect, first speaker, those restrictions exist because the founders of your conclave never fully understood the technology they discovered. Humanity didn't just copy quantum artifacts. We comprehended them. We improved them. And now we offer to share that understanding. The chamber erupted in debate, but Lyra could see the shift happening. Fear was giving way to curiosity, hostility to cautious interest. She approached Elena during a recess, while other representatives huddled in worried groups. Your timing is interesting, Lyra observed. Coming forward now, when the hierarchy was on the verge of announcing new restrictions on emerging worlds. Elena smiled. We've had observers in the galaxy for longer than anyone suspected. We chose this moment carefully. When the old order was about to tighten its grip, we demonstrated another path. And if the Concordat chooses conflict over cooperation, then humanity will defend itself, Elena replied simply. But we hope it won't come to that. We've seen enough of how the galaxy operates through fear and restriction. We're offering a future built on understanding and innovation instead. As the session resumed, Lyra noticed more representatives drifting toward Earth's position. The footage of the battle played again, but now they watched it with different eyes, not seeing a threat, but possibility. Humanity had done more than defeat a fleet. They had shattered assumptions about what was possible, and in doing so, they had changed the galaxy forever. The warning had been delivered. Humanity would not be contained, would not be restricted, but they offered partnership instead of dominance, understanding instead of subjugation. The galaxy would never be the same, and Lyra suspected that might be exactly what it needed. 1 year after humanity's revelation to the galaxy, the orbital space above Earth had transformed. Where once humans had maintained the illusion of primitive space docks, now vast quantum engineering facilities stretched across the sky. Ships from dozens of species docked alongside human vessels, their crews eager to learn the principles that had revolutionized understanding of the universe. Admiral Helena Rodriguez stood in the observation dome of the new Galactic Science Academy, watching as a group of former hierarchy scientists worked alongside human researchers. The massive quantum computation array they were building would process more data in a second than the old Concordat systems could handle in a year. The latest enrollment figures, Admiral, announced Dr. James Chen, now serving as the Academy's chief administrator. We've received applications from over 300 worlds. Even the Silicon Collective has finally requested to send observers. Helena smiled, remembering the tension of that first battle, the fear that humanity's revelation would lead to a galaxy-wide war. Instead, their demonstration of superior technology had sparked something unexpected, a renaissance of scientific curiosity. "And the new quantum network?" she asked. "Operating beyond expectations," James replied, bringing up a holographic display. Points of light showed the spread of humanity's quantum communication technology across the galaxy. The old power structures are falling apart naturally. It's hard to maintain technological restrictions when the primitive species are now teaching advanced physics to your top scientists. A flash of light announced the arrival of the EDF Prometheus, returning from its latest diplomatic mission. The vessel had become a symbol of humanity's new role in the galaxy, not conquerors, but teachers. Its captain, Michael Chung, had earned a reputation for turning potential conflicts into opportunities for cooperation. "Message from Captain Chung," James announced. "The Artilian Republic has agreed to join the new Galactic Scientific Coalition. That makes 27 major powers who have abandoned the old Concordat's restrictions." Helena nodded, unsurprised. The Artilians had been among the most skeptical of human intentions, but like others, they had eventually recognized that humanity's offer of shared knowledge was genuine. The old order, built on hoarding and restricting technology, was giving way to something new. Administrator Chen called out Lieutenant Sarah Wei from her station. "The first test of the dimensional gateway is ready to begin." The observatory's windows automatically darkened as energy began to build in the massive ring structure floating nearby. This was humanity's latest gift to the galaxy. True faster-than-light travel without the limitations of traditional hyperspace. "All the visiting scientists are watching," James noted. "This will be the final proof that our understanding of quantum mechanics is fundamentally different from what the Concordat taught for millennia." The gateway activated, creating not just a portal through space, but a controlled corridor through multiple dimensions. On screens throughout the Academy, sensors showed exactly what the human scientists had predicted: stable, safe passage through what the ancient quantum artifacts had only hinted was possible. "Message from the Prometheus," Sarah announced. "Captain Chang reports that news of the successful test is already spreading through the quantum network. The remaining holdouts among the old powers are calling for emergency sessions. They're ready to talk." Helena turned to James, seeing her own satisfaction reflected in his expression. "Tell them we'll be happy to discuss terms at the Academy, where they can see for themselves what cooperation has achieved in just 1 year." Through the observatory windows, ships of all designs and origins moved in harmony, their crews working together to understand the principles that humanity had unlocked. The feared war fleet that had revealed itself to the galaxy had transformed into something else, an armada of discovery and learning. "One more thing, Admiral," James added with a slight smile. "The Silicon Collective's representatives are requesting permission to examine the original quantum artifacts we found, the ones that started us on this path. They've admitted that their own studies of similar relics have been limited by preconceptions. Grant them access," Helena decided. "With supervision, of course. Let them see how humanity took those ancient mysteries and, instead of simply copying them, asked the questions no one else dared to ask." As the dimensional gateway pulsed with successful test after successful test, Helena reflected on the journey that had brought them here. Humanity had hidden its achievements out of necessity, developed in secret out of caution. But in revealing their true nature, they had done more than establish their place in the galaxy. They had broken chains of stagnation that had bound civilization for millennia. The new dawn wasn't just for humanity. It was for every species that had ever looked at the impossible and dared to ask, why not? The galaxy had feared human warships, but in the end, it was human curiosity, human innovation, and human willingness to share knowledge that had truly changed everything. In the vast darkness of space, ships of 1,000 worlds moved in concert, their crews united not by fear or restriction, but by the simple, powerful desire to understand. The age of secrets was over. The age of discovery had truly begun.